nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com. Good morning, Powers.
Good morning, Beef.
And good morning, Tucson. This beautiful Wednesday, September 28th. It's beautiful for us here in southern Arizona. Not so beautiful in the great mistake of Florida, as they're bracing for Hurricane Ian, which is constantly getting upgraded just from this morning. It started off, it was Category 3 when it went over Cuba. Yeah. And then started making its way in from the Gulf of Mexico, about at the west coast of Florida, basically going to hit Tampa Bay, right? And it started to build up steam and momentum, and it's Category 4, and it looks like it might be Category 5, Storm of the Century type stuff, about to hit Florida. And with the Governor DeSantis saying, get out and get out now. Meanwhile, people in Florida are letting their kids play in the high tide, and businesses are... They all have the same sign. Like all these like road stop like diners and bars say, we're open till the letters fly off these signs. I saw that like 20, 30 different posts yesterday. We're open till the letters fly off. I don't believe this storm nonsense. We're going to ride it out. No, you should leave. So we're keeping an eye on it. I'm pretty sure there'll be news throughout the day as the hurricane is just like dead set on going across the middle of the state, and it could be possibly her Category 5, which is the highest it goes. It doesn't go higher than that.
Yeah, not yet.
That's true. That's true. You're right. It's 2022, and the way things are kind of like escalating or revolving, if you will, it's not unheard of to imagine a world where we have a Category 10 hurricanes in about 10 years.
Yep.
You know, so something to look forward to. I talked about it yesterday. I was like, if you lived in Florida, and if I ever live in Florida, and I'm not saying I'm never going to live in Florida, as much as I make fun of it, I realize that I'm white trash enough to gravitate to that state eventually. You know, it might even pull me in. It might even recruit me or draft me, if you will.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we need some more like podunk white people here. And I'm like, oh, well, damn, I fit it. I fit the categories here. I'll qualify as a Florida person. So, you know, if I went there, though, I feel like I'm pretty sure I would get a couple gallons of water, kind of put them away in the closet, some extra toilet paper, and say, okay, don't use that toilet paper. You know, just essentials.
Yeah.
Just in case you got to batten down the hatches. You know, I did see a pretty cool hack yesterday, and this doesn't really apply to us, but it's something that we could use. Freezing bottles of water. Yeah. Right? Did you see this? So
I'm not sure if I did. Go ahead.
Okay, so freezing bottles of water, and then a bunch of them. And then that way, when the power goes out, you put the frozen bottles of water in your fridge to keep your fridge colder longer. And then when the water, melts, yes, then you have water. You have cold water to drink. So, you know, I was like, oh, yeah, that's brilliant. You know, you just get a case of water and you freeze it, and then, power's out. You don't know how long it's going to be out for. We throw that case of frozen water into the fridge, and now you got an ice box. That's how they used to do it back in the day. And bam.
That's how I do when I go to the beach.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I do when I go to the beach, too.
Yeah.
I always throw in a couple of frozen bottled waters in there next to my bottle of tequila to keep the tequila nice and chill.
Indeed.
Yes. And then again, it melts, and boom, I got water. I'm hydrated and drunk. It's a really good thing. All right, we have so many things that we're going to get to today. Tons of tickets to give away. Today's National Neighbor Day. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
Hidely ho.
Yeah. So yesterday was National Morning Show Host Day. I didn't make a big deal out of it, you know.
Is an everyday national morning show host in here?
For you guys, anyone tuning in, yes, it is. But, you know, today for National Neighbor Day, coming up after Morning Moron for Apocalyptico tickets, I have the Neighbor game. It's a brand new game that I'm going to debut for you. And then at 8 o'clock, we're going to give away tickets for Jack White. It's Wednesday, so beyond that, I'll have reptile passes and also Terror in the Corn. So all that and more, all coming up all morning long. So you can hit us up whenever just to say what's up. 600 KFMA. Your Morning Morons coming up after 3 days grace. Here's Oh, that's going to be lifetime. Here's Come Out and Play. Rock 102.1 KFMA.
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep them separated. Good morning, neighbors. Good morning, Elizabeth. I see your comment there. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. I know that I already did the stream once today for the Tucson Reptile Show. I had to, show some love for Mark and Lee and let people see the reptiles that they brought in, which is pretty cool. Bearded dragons are always cool, you know. So, and we are here. It's Todd and I, Powers and I. I sent Todd an invite. That's why.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I had a little slip. So if you want to jump in on the podcast broadcast there. Good morning, Anthony, and anyone else joining in this stream, whether it's live or later than that. We do have a lot of stuff to cover. I saved a bunch of stories for the end. Why is the background black? I didn't mean to do that, but that's cool. All right.
Send me a link when you can.
Oh, you want to see yourself?
I like the chat.
Yeah, no, I know, Chatty Cathy. I see that. And then there isn't other people in the studio to have conversations with, so you have to talk to me. Poor guy.
I mean, it's tough sometimes.
No, stop. All right. So we have we did the neighbor game earlier today. I'm gonna run that by you guys on the stream to see if you guys can do it as well. Now, I feel like Elizabeth probably already heard the answers. Good morning, Morgan. Good to see you on the stream. Good morning, JJ. And so who else? Just throwing out whatever comments, about 41 seconds. So the neighbor game, which I didn't record, but I did have a trap remix intro for it, which I was pretty stoked about. We did a couple different musical segments today. And then one being the observation that if there's a popular song that was made and released, there is a trap remix of it on YouTube. And that's how I find like a lot of my little makeshift intros for songs or games. Yeah. So I was doing the neighbor game. So I'm like, Mr. Rogers, won't you be my neighbor? Trap. That's all I did. And then had this dope ass beat, which I'll play for you here in a moment. But I got to do this live tease here. Rock 102.1 KFMA. It's Beef Vegan Presents. We're live on the podcast broadcast. You can join us youtube.com/Beef Vegan. But listen up, guys. You need help with your boners?
What?
Oh, yeah. There's things that you could eat and things you could avoid eating that keeps you better in bed. I'm going to break down that list for you just because I want to educate some of my brosifs out there. Keep the boner game strong in the T-town. That's what you got to do, because honestly, if we're a town full of strong bones, we're a town not to be messed with or effed with because we F back hard. I'll give you a breakdown of those foods next on Beef Vegan Presents. We'll keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast.
I love everything you just said so much.
I know you did. Yeah, that was my live tease.
Stupid. I can tell all my brosifs how to keep the bones strong because no one wants to mess with our town.
That's right.
Us, we'll fuck you back. What?
You like that? Can you believe I didn't think of anything? I just let it all rip.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that wasn't written down. That's freestyle.
Brosifs. All my brosifinos. Fucking whatever you said.
Try to make the best out of a segment where I'm like, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I do have other stuff we didn't get to. You want to see a very gross photo?
Do I?
No. But I'm going to show it to you anyways. So here's the deal. I almost gagged just thinking about this too.
Oh, God.
All right. So there's a woman had to go to the hospital. And she was in critical condition because her Chihuahua shit in her mouth while she was sleeping in bed.
Oh, well,
now
I have friends I can send this story to.
Right. So this Chihuahua had a bug, right? And that's the reason why I had like diarrhea.
Yeah.
But I feel like this woman could have avoided going to the hospital if she didn't just take the time to take a fucking selfie when she got shit on. Here's what I'm talking about.
Okay. This
is the woman, right?
Yeah. And she said, "Oh, look what I woke up to," and posted that online.
Yes. Now, again, this is off New York. Was it New York Post posted this? This was a 51-year-old woman in UK named Amanda, and she spent 3 days in the hospital after a dog pooped on her face. Right? She laid down to take a nap with the Chihuahua named Belle. In the middle of it, Belle had a bout of explosive diarrhea, shit all over her face, and it got in her mouth. And it made her violently ill for several hours. But again, I don't understand why she didn't immediately run to the bathroom instead of just standing there and taking a picture of herself with shit on her face. Right. So she did that. And then she ended up going to the hospital for it. And I feel like it could have been all avoided. Am I wrong with this assumption?
I'm sure the picture didn't take that long. I'm sure. Let's hope she immediately then washed her face and washed her mouth out. Or did she just go to the hospital?
Yeah. Just like,
you're like, oh, you can see what happened here.
Oh, it's brutal. Yes, I know. So let's say good morning to our good friend Todd. He's getting stoned in his man cave. What's up, Todd?
Hey, hi. I heard Frank needed a friend, so I'm here.
Yeah. Now he's everyone's best friend. He's got a plethora of friends.
That's what I do.
I did ask him what his what's the one thing he splurges on. His answer to me this morning was his gold shoes, which since they look gold, they look expensive. But then he told me what the actual price was, and I was like, dude, those are cheaper than cheap.
It's just again because I'm on my 8th pair. So if we times about what's 40 times 8?
Yeah, no, that's $1,200. Nope,
320.
Okay,
so I spent $320 on gold.
I think I was way off on that.
Yeah, just to buy a bit. Math a magician.
40 times 8. I know that's
math is hard.
I mean, that's a casino math too. I should know that. I guess I'm not feeling sharp today. Maybe I got contact high from that bearded dragon who was obviously stoned off its ass. I mean, they got that dude fucking high. And I was gonna ask that if it was just Lee. I would have definitely asked, like, are these bearded dragons good reptiles to get stoned? Because I know stoners out there definitely get their reptile friends stoned.
Really?
Yeah.
The reptiles get
contact
stoned?
high.
Yeah.
They can't help it. They're in the room.
Right. I think they can get stoned. That's something we have to look up. That's your Google assignment for the day. Mm-hmm. All right. We got 7 seconds. We're going to get on the air and talk about our boners. It's going to be awesome. Nice. And then after the segment, we're going to whip them out and do a little sword fight. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. Listen up, brosifs. I'm talking to you. And ladies, you can tune out of this, but maybe this will help you as well. Maybe you can help persuade your man's diet. Because according to an expert, her name's Florence. She's the CEO of Cormite Center for Precision Medicine and Health, and the author of a book called Keep It Up.
Okay.
All right. Your diet can impact your sex life negatively if you eat the wrong foods. And she says things like cholesterol, plaque, inflammation can obstruct blood flow to arteries that supply the sex organs, the most important one, and affects the vessels as well. So the goal is to reduce elevated blood pressure, manage cholesterol, enhance sugar control, and optimize metabolism and hormones to improve your sexual health. And you could do so by following the 6 foods that can interfere with that. Okay. So here's the breakdown. Again, this is all for bonus strength and the dirty tea because it's important. We may not be the biggest city in Arizona, but if we have the strongest dongs, then who cares if they got 5 million more than us up north?
That's right. We might not be the biggest. We're the hardest.
That's right. And we do. We walk hard in this town. So first thing to avoid is processed foods and sugars. Like high consumption of sugar increases diabetes chances, which leads to suppressed testosterone and ED. So you want to stay away from that. And that should be an obvious one. Mm-hmm. This one breaks my heart a little bit. And now I have this big debate in my head. Do I want to have bonage or do I want to enjoy buffalo wings on the regs?
Ooh, that's a master debate right there.
Yeah. So buffalo wings and other deep fried foods that are high in saturated fats and trans fats are also linked to diabetes, high blood pressure, and coronary artery disease, but they're also delicious. So pick your poison, man. Here's another thing. As I continue to go through this list again, I'm reminding that, you could have like the best bone-tastic boner in town. But if you don't do anything fun, then who wants to bang that dude? Mm-hmm. Because they say beer and cocktails. Studies found that overindulging in alcohol makes it more difficult to achieve an orgasm. Oh, really? You had to study that? It's called whiskey, dude.
Yeah.
But in 2018, a study in the Archives of Sexual Behavior found that women had less V-lube after drinking alcohol as well.
Wow. That's one of the worst terms I've heard in a while.
But, yeah. Well, I'm keeping it PG.
I know.
Yeah. Microwave popcorn. You want to stay away from that?
Really?
Yeah, tons of reasons. And I know you live off
the other day I told you, I'm like, I did. Yep. Popcorn's the worst, right? You just feel horrible afterwards.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That'd be a lesson to you. If your body's feeling horrible and you feel disgusted as a person,
it's like, don't do it.
right.
Yeah.
And if your penis could talk to you, you know they're feeling disgusted too. They feel so sick after you eat a bag of popcorn that they can't throw up. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Fatty red meat. So you want to make sure you get your meat lean. All right. And finally, another thing that's on my daily to eat list.
Yeah.
Deli meat. So
Really?
processed meats, deli meats are high in sodium, can contribute to high blood pressure. But I'm asking myself right now, does that include boar's head? Because I feel like boar's head's good for the bonage.
That's just quality marketing by Boar's Head.
I know. This whole segment was not brought to you by boar's head, but I'm open for sponsors.
Let me tell I have the perfect slogan. We'll save that for the podcast, though.
All right, yes. All right, we'll continue the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. Yes, go ahead.
Can I just say that I think this woman said, like, oh, let's just take any diet, but say, I'll tell people it'll help your boners. This is just a standard diet.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I mean, it's a good way to make money for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, actually, I should start up like a side cart business and stuff. How, like, Beef Vegan's advice to getting boners, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that's what this show is. I could swear.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, if you're listening and not getting a boner, then I'm doing something wrong. All right. I just wanted to say boner like 20 times in 5 minutes, and I feel accomplished today.
You did it.
Yeah.
Yay!
Thank you, Todd.
There's even a segue there, but first I want to give my Boar's Head leads to Moore's Head. There you go. That should be their slogan, right? Boom. Boom. Boar's Head, it's all yours.
Yeah,
but also, speaking
the
of
balls
boners,
are in your court. Yes.
famous neighbor, who is Boner? What show is that?
Oh yeah, Boner was that was the show with the religious fuckhead, and I do know the name of this show. Hold on a second, let me get the proper music to help me think. Okay, I do have this. I do know this.
You can't think without thinking music.
He needs that thinking music.
Yeah, I do need that thinking music.
One Boner Stabone.
Yeah, wait, hold on.
Is that the problem? Is he's had too many boners right in the last 5 minutes, and now there's nothing left for the brain.
Yeah,
all
no,
the
so
blood somewhere else.
Kirk Cameron starred in this television show.
Correct.
The show was aired for 6 seasons. Leonardo DiCaprio actually debuted on the show as well.
Yes.
And Boner, of course, was the best friend of Kirk Cameron's character. What is the name of that godforsaken show? I also want to do an honorable mention for Robin Thicke's father, Alan Thicke, who was the dad in this show, but I still have no clue what the name of this show is.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I know nothing about the show, though, so it makes it very difficult to answer.
Nothing at all.
Yeah. And I'm not looking at comments yet.
Yeah, let's see if the comments got it. Did the comments get it? Let's go.
Do you know the answer, Todd?
I have a guess.
What's
I don't
your
know
guess,
the answer because I didn't read a thing, but
everyone in the comments is wrong.
Okay.
Oh, okay, Zot got it, but go ahead.
That's JJ, by the way.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah, wasn't it Family Ties?
No, it is not.
Nope.
That's
Oh,
Skippy.
okay, well.
We did Skippy earlier, but okay.
It is Growing Pains.
Yeah, growing pains.
Oh.
Yes.
Right.
I don't feel good about it. Because I feel like I knew so much about it.
You knew
that
a
I
lot
should've
about
known.
Growing
I know.
Pains.
Did I surprise you with my growing pains knowledge?
A bit.
Again.
Let's get a trap remix of Growing Pains.
Okay. Yes. So earlier
That might
this
be
morning,
the one that doesn't exist. Let's see. if
I do
there
have-
is.
I guarantee you it exists.
Totally
what were you gonna
shift
say,
gears. I
Todd?
do have bearded dragon news.
Oh, okay. Give me bearded dragon news while I'm
It
pulling
is in
this up.
fact true. You can get a bearded dragon high.
I told you. I knew it.
I've agreed with you. You didn't.
Oh,
Now,
I'm
you also-
okay, it's not an angrily I told you,
Yeah.
but I told the
You
collective
shouldn't.
we.
You also shouldn't get your bearded dragon high. They don't
Oh,
have
why?
the
Because he
respiratory
can't get a
system to
bearded
deal with it.
job. Don't worry about
listen
it.
to him. Listen to him. He was trying to say something. You were talking all over him. What did you say?
It's important that the bearded dragons, you don't get them high. They don't have the respiratory system to keep up with it, and so they're going to get, for you, what is a normal high for them is ultra super high. They're going to be on another planet, and that's going to lead to seizures really fast in them because they don't have the respiratory system to keep up with it. So you can get them high. They can feel high. They will probably feel the same kind of high that we do, but their tolerance is beyond low.
Do they like it?
Probably
It's-
not.
It's difficult to tell because they're not communicating. They can't speak human yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Give them like 20 years, man.
Again, this goes back to the show open. Lizard people, they know what they're doing.
That's true. That is very true. And you know what? You are right. It looks like I do not know. Well, let's see if I go.
You just try Growing Pains remix.
I got it. Try to teach me. I've been
Teaching you things. Relax.
I've been doing this trap remix thing for years, son. All right, so this is the Growing Pains trap remix remaster, actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So it's good because the original one wasn't really mastered that well.
Is this just something called Growing Pains?
Yeah, it's something called Growing Pains.
If you can find Perfect Strangers, that's a banger.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. Perfect Strangers theme. I mean, earlier this morning, we were knocking out the park. Everyone that would come in with a suggestion for our trap remix thing, we're doing this. But this is, you're talking mid-'80s, late 80s.
Yeah.
Perfect Strangers theme song. It comes up immediately when I've typed in perfect, and then I'm just going to go trap. Because my theory was there's a trap version of every song that's ever created. And yeah, I got Jonas Blue, Perfect Strangers, trap remix. Let's see, there's a cover. Yeah, there might not be. There's Perfect Strangers theme song with Breaking 2 mashup. That's interesting, but definitely
Mashup's another good one.
Circle of Life trap remix. Let's
definitely
yeah,
that's
yeah.
easy because that's mainstream for sure.
Yeah, you want to hear that?
Oh, we need toast salad and scrambled eggs. We need some Frasier.
Okay, yeah.
I guarantee there's some sick remixes of Frasier.
For sure. Let's see. Here's this.
Oh, I love it.
Well, I gotta share the video for you guys to hear it.
I'm getting to knock vibes. This is just the first note in the Lion King as well.
And remixed. Yeah.
That's how you do trap. You find 3 buttons because you only have 3 buttons to make trap. So
yeah,
so
you
funny.
pick the right 3
fantastic.
and you just keep hitting them over again.
Oh yeah. All right. So we got that all set up. Let's get speaking of the neighbor game, let's see how well you do with this rapid fire edition of the neighbor game. Are you ready, Todd?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
All right, so I'm going to give you a name. It's either going to be a real sitcom neighbor or it's going to be a made-up name, all right? So for a point, you're going to tell me yes or no if it's real or not. And then for a bonus point, you're going to tell me the show if it is real, okay?
Okay.
All right, here's the neighbor game. All right, our first name, Marcy Darcy.
That is a TV show, but I couldn't name it.
So you say that's real?
I say that's a real TV show name.
Yep.
It's all made up. That it's a real made up name. Maybe made up isn't the right thing.
Yeah,
he's getting lost.
I know. Got too stoned. All right, so yes, real name of the show is Married with Children.
No, okay, that's a lucky guess because I didn't watch that one.
All right, here's the next name, Gavin Brubaker.
Nah, you made that up.
You're absolutely right. That's another point for Todd. All right, what about this one, Sheldon Cooper?
That is a neighbor.
Okay, and what's the show?
I feel like I should know it, but I don't.
Oh, you should definitely know it.
I agree with that statement.
This show was made for your subset.
And at the same time, not.
Yeah.
That's not helping me not know it.
Well, let's
All
see, it's Big Bang Theory. So
That's
do you
right.
hate that?
Oh, yeah,
show?
no, it's modern sitcom. Didn't watch it. Just like Pat.
Okay.
Like,
All right, let's go 90s. Stephen Urkel.
oh, I mean, yeah, that's a sitcom. That was I definitely should know that one.
Yeah.
Urkel was with Will Smith.
Nope.
No?
Nope. You sound racist now.
Oh no, that was nope, I don't remember the name of the show. I want to give up on that because that was Will Smith's number was Jazz. No, that was his friend.
Family Matters.
Family Matters. That's
so you're
right.
getting all the yes or no points, but you're definitely not getting the bonus points.
Terrible with names to begin with. So
Yeah. All right. Final one. And then I'm going to ask you, Chuck Larrabee, real or fake?
Fake.
Is incorrect. It is
I
real.
felt like I was falling for a trap there. Yeah.
That is a trap because it's a show, Last Man Standing, which was Tim Allen's makeshift show for, I think it was signed on to Fox after he got like canceled for being Republican and blah, 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 blah. So, but no one really watched that show. You know, that's the thing. The argument was, oh, you're canceling me because my political beliefs, when really it's like, no, the show sucks, you know?
Yeah, you're
it's
not.
no tool
yeah,
time.
It's not it. And
Right?
he's still on tour, so you're not canceled, buddy.
Right. Seinfeld's coming to TCC soon. Did you see that?
I'm not sure if I did see he's coming to town. That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know what tickets are for that, but I'm sure it's expensive and it's sold out. We got 44 seconds. So two things. I'm gonna get into this on-air backfire, and then we're gonna play a TikTok video of an Uber woman who outed a guy who stopped to pick up his mistress. And then I got, this lady's ridiculous because you think a licensed taxi cab driver would do this? Nope.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well, but she's an Uber woman.
right. So let's get into this. We got 15 seconds before we get on the air and playing Nirvana on Rock 1 2.1. And then going into the couple who use dirty diapers to deceive some people. Rock 1 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. Hanging out here on the podcast broadcast with Powers and Todd Marley. And this is a story that broke out of around Austin, Texas. See, you know, like most of us, we've experienced what it's like to be affected or stolen from by porch pirates. Porch piracy is, it's an epidemic for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people are taking advantage of this. But of course, you know, there's a lot of factors leading into as why so many people are susceptible to this kind of theft. One, you know, you got your packages right there on the front door. It's just really easy to grab, even with those Ring cameras. Secondly, you know, I mean, a lot of people are in some tough times financially, so they're going to lead to getting quick fixes. It's not making an excuse for it, but maybe give an explanation why it happens so often. Now, this one neighborhood was struggling with porch pirates. It was happening very frequently. So one couple had a creative plan. They'd fill a box with dirty diapers and leave it on their porch. Like, oh, gonna trick you. You're gonna steal this. You're gonna steal a box full of poo. Right?
Love it.
What could go wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Well, nothing really. It did work. The thieves drove up, grabbed the box, and then they ran off. But unfortunately, that did not scare them out of the neighborhood. So once they opened it up, they realized they'd been duped. They were kind of upset, as you would, and said, you know what? We know exactly where we attempted to steal this package. We got to get revenge on these people for making us steal poop. The couple says that's when the porch pirates realized that the box was packed with dirty diapers. They returned and they smeared those diapers on the front door. Yes, brazenly. And then they weren't done. They left and came back again about 30 minutes later, but this time with a big bag of cow manure. I don't know.
They went shopping.
Yeah. And then they spread it all over their front porch and their cars in the driveway. Now, this is some pretty really like vindictive pirates,
right? Like you're the bad guys. That sucks.
Yeah. They took the time to really make sure that they were defecating properly on this property. Now, the couple called the cops. Apparently, they have set up a patrol in that area. And as far as we know, the thieves are still on the loose. All they have to do, though, is to follow the smell, and I'm sure they'll be able to catch them. But this is one of those situations where you try to prank a criminal. Well, they'll come back and crime twice as hard.
Right.
Now the question is, did they actually go buy that bag of manure, or was that just another porch pirate? Either they just got somebody's fertilizer and they're like, well, we're in the neighborhood.
That's an excellent question. And I would hope, if they're like, man, today we're just, you go with streaks. We're on this poo streak right now. When it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
So let's utilize this and go back to, the scene of the crime, point A, and break that streak. But either way, this is a story where they got away with it, and the people who initially started this prank got crapped all over, basically. And they had to clean it up. So they're the losers in this story, really.
Yeah, literally.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're keeping the conversation moving on podcast broadcast there. We're going to see an irate woman who is an Uber Lyft driver who outed a man for doing something she felt was morally wrong. But is she morally wrong for outing the man herself? We'll debate that on the podcast broadcast. Join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. Look at me. I'm like fucking Maury Povich, like my segues there. All right, let's go to this. This video is funny. A poop. All right. I'm just reading JJ's comment.
High class content today. Absolutely.
Right. What was I saying when we got here? You got a lot of class, kid, and it's all low.
Yeah. That's a stone cold quote. Let's see. Here is this woman. Okay, so here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
This shit only happens because of the Uber and Lyft business model, period. Because, remember when we had taxi cab drivers, they're very few and far between. I imagine it's very difficult to become a taxi cab driver. There's a lot of, steps and licensing and insurancing that you have to do to become one of these and then work for a company like that. And that's kind of the reason why the rates are the way they are. Now, Uber and Lyft, again, still somehow, some way they go around those rules and regulations. So it just could be anybody. And a lot of times that bites the company in the ass from a PR perspective.
Yeah.
And when you don't have a boss necessarily, and you're an independent contractor whose the only repercussion is maybe a bad tip or a 1-star review, but not necessarily losing the resources of having that gig, then you are going to do brazen things that it doesn't matter because you're not going to lose a job. You're not going to get fired. You're still an independent contractor. That's it. So people will take it in their own business to not mind their business and do the job to customer serve, even though this man was technically in the wrong. So here's the rundown. This guy got picked up by an Uber driver, patted his kids on the head, kissed his wife goodbye, got in the car and took off, and then told this woman, hey, we got to make a stop. And the stop that he was making was at his mistress' house.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this woman took to TikTok to share the tale of what she did when she found out this stranger was cheating. Check this out.
You cheaters. If you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you ever need a Lyft or an Uber and you get in my car, be forewarned. If you ever pull this kind of shit that this guy pulled today, you got the same thing coming. Today I picked up a guy. His wife and his kids walked him out to the car, said, I love you, daddy, blah, blah, blah. So he gets in, he says hi. He goes, I added a stop.
That's a good place to say blah, 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 too. I love you, daddy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck you kids.
Oh, she's fired up.
Oh, yeah, she is. Oh, Dallas woman.
So we go and we pull up at the stop, and this lady comes out. She's got a little bit of luggage, like a handbag and a tote, a small tote. She gets in and she's like, I'm so glad you finally got away from your damn wife. Okay. So then he kisses her, and it wasn't a hi, how you doing kind of kiss. And so he goes, I changed our drop-off location.
Sounds like she's being voyeuristic.
She's a detective.
She's a detective.
She's so smart.
And somewhat of a pervert, It's like, so I'm looking in my rear view, right? And I notice how his tongue penetrates her mouth. And then they start wrestling. And then they start grasping each other. And it's like, your eyes aren't on the road right now. Get your eyes back on the road. We're sorry. Yeah. All right, let's continue to hear what she says. She does have an adorable accent, and I don't mind her eyes. Pretty cute eyes. She's an older lady, but you could tell she was attractive 20 years ago.
I said, I saw that. I didn't know exactly where it was that they were going at that particular time. I just saw that it had an update. So they continued to talk and this, that, and the other. And she says, I'm tired of you putting me off. When are you going to leave? And he said, I've got some things I've got to take care of. Let's talk about this later. Blah, 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 blah. Keep in mind.
Yeah. Let's talk about this later because I could tell this woman's easdropping the entire conversation.
Right? She's taking notes and coming up with her own hashtags.
Yeah. He's looking at her all side-eyed like, not now? Yeah. How about not now? She already knows too much.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear what she says from there.
And I was about 5 miles from his house. So understand something. This is my car. I work for myself. I am an independent contractor.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah,
I work for myself. You work for Uber.
Yeah. This is not your app, lady.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But that's the entitlement that these dealers or these drivers can have. It's like, no, this is my own small business. Yeah. No, it's not.
And speaking of entitlement, it also goes to the entitlement of like people that don't look at wait staff, drivers, and whatever as human beings. Right. They're talking like she's a dog that doesn't understand them.
Right. Yeah. And she continues. It gets more Dallasy I will show you right here because you'll get some of the cliches and sayings and trademarks, if you will.
If I choose to end your ride, it's my choice. Uber's not going to fire me. Uber's not going to ban me. Uber's not going to get rid of me. If you are doing something crappy in my car, I have the right to handle it however I see fit. Well, things didn't turn out so well for him. I took him back to his house. I drove up and made him and her get out of my car at his home where his wife and his kids were. There was no other way this was going to go on. There is nothing worse than a dog. I don't give a fuck if you're a female or you're a male. Pull some shit like that in my car and you're going to get done like that. Karma's a motherfucker. Be better people. Do better in life. It didn't end well for him today, I'm sure, because both of them had their baggage and both of them were standing in his front yard when I left.
And I honked the horn and I made sure to throw the newspaper and hit the door. And then I went to the kids' school. Like, that's terrifying.
Do better in life. Take it from me, a 55-year-old woman driving Uber.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. That's like
great.
the most mall copiness stuff I've seen. Also, there was no other way to handle this. Well, I hope no one gets to violence or murder. So good luck.
Yeah,
The next time I do this, it might be a gunfight.
Yeah.
Does that make her accessory? Does it make like she should protect herself a little bit? Because that's not the best situation.
Yeah.
Good
It's a bad
Lord.
look. But again, all those things that I mentioned beforehand about the mentality of being an independent contractor, she stated.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I didn't even see that part. And it's like, yep, there you go. I knew that's the mentality of it. I understand it. And that's what happens when you don't have like a boss or repercussions and be like, yeah, what's going to happen? I can't get fucking fired.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I make my own rules.
That's like someone at Dutch Brothers being like, I don't work in Dutch Brothers. I'm out here.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you still work. You're there. You can't say whatever you want or do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, because you're not behind a counter.
Yeah, I have my own little small coffee shop. Independent contractor means this is mine. Yeah.
Right?
They just supply me with customers and resources.
You know, they haven't finished my paperwork here. I'm an independent contractor here, so I could just say on the radio all I want.
Right.
Rules don't apply to me.
Yeah.
I'm an independent contractor.
It's true. Which, actually, Max said he's going to get all that stuff filled out. You'll see him next week.
Yeah, right.
No, we'll be next week. He's out. All right. So, yeah. So that's just too funny. Oh, scientists say men who drink tea have a higher sperm concentration and count. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's all about putting the pinky out. I don't even think
tea.
Any tea, as long as you have your pinky up. I think it's the pinky up. That just keeps the sperm flowing.
Well, can I drink a Sobe tea? Or is that not
No,
tea?
man.
No,
Sobe,
that's sugar.
Yeah.
We had
dude.
another segment about how the sugar's killing your boner.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man. Your boner's dead.
So what? But again, can you drink black tea that's like Arizona iced tea, black tea?
Yeah, again.
No, I'm not saying I drink it.
Okay.
It's too sweet for me. I'm saying tea.
I'm like, Jesus Christ,
because you're
fellas.
thinking of tea. Like,
No,
can
I'm
you drink
I'm talking like tea, like actual like tea, not
like
the
Earl Grey.
Well, yeah, like Earl Grey tea, black tea, green tea, but not like canned sugar tea. That's funny.
Iced tea,
It did
not
make me
iced
think.
tea.
Yeah, not iced tea.
So no iced tea.
Yeah,
Okay.
just tea.
What about unsweetened iced tea? Is what I'm getting at. Or is it just like
yeah, allow
tea?
it. I'll allow it. Sure.
Okay, sweet.
Thank you,
Or
Todd.
unsweet.
Thank you, Todd. Because I was gonna sit here and just like debate it in my head, and this is gonna go on far too long.
Nah, just let Frank have his unsweetened tea. It's
Yeah.
not
Who?
enough.
The real thing is low tea. That's what you got to worry about.
Yes, you do have to worry about that. Oh, get this, guys. Oh my fucking god. So, coming up next is our not OnlyFans model of the week.
Oh,
Yeah. So, we obviously do a running segment of the OnlyFans model of the week. I was showing Powers off air of a little person who was OnlyFans model. I forgot how she popped up on my radar. It was one of the news stories and stuff. And so she has an OnlyFans, and she has a sister as well. And the joke was that the sister's rate was $6 a month, and her rate was $3 a month. And I'm like, oh man, it's half price. I'm like, oh, that makes sense, but it's super weird. this not OnlyFans model is somebody who is notoriously famous for all the wrong reasons. There was a Netflix documentary on her as well. And now, because she can't get a job, she is taken to OnlyFans. And I do have some pictures that leaked, and I can only show you one or two without getting booted off the stream. Luckily for me, the first two are kind of uncensored, and then they have the first two are kind of like PG and censored, and then they have the uncensored versions that leaked, and there was a bunch of them. And I will say this though, before we even reveal who it is, and I'll let you take a guess who it is before I reveal it. The uncensored pics, they do look pretty good for a woman her age and everything. I'm like, okay, yeah, I see it. It's hot, but at the same time, it feels weird that it's hot because she is faking everything about her own identity. And that's the reason why she got in hot water nationally. Do you know who I am talking about?
God.
No idea. I got nothing.
All right. And well, you're about to find out here in about a minute. And I'm gonna get those pictures here lined up. And her OnlyFans is $10 a month. Again, too much. And I will say this for any of these stories that come out with these women starting OnlyFans. If you are the type of person to subscribe and pay for OnlyFans, which you probably shouldn't, but because the internet has all this stuff available for free, I would still wait like 6 months because the natural progression of OnlyFans is it starts off with doing like tasty nudes, right? And some chatting. And then after like 6 months, they're like, okay, here's me sucking 2 dicks at the same time. And it goes from 0 to 100.
You're building a website too, so you want to let that content get in there.
Yeah.
Because do you like week to week or do you want to binge?
Yes. Yes. So I'm going to show you a picture and see if you guys can guess who this person is as well. Oh, and no, JJ, it wasn't Bridget the Midgets I'm talking about. It's Erica, spelled Ika. But that would be an OnlyFans model of the week. This is our not OnlyFans model of the week. Do you recognize her? Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. It's time for the not OnlyFans model of the week, which I'm showing a picture on the podcast broadcast of leaked images of this notorious individual who gained a national notoriety for claiming to be a black woman when she actually wasn't. And actually, she was a vice president of the
NCAA, yeah.
NAACP.
Yeah.
NAACP.
NAACP.
Yeah, NAACP up in the Oregon, the Northwest region. Do you know her name?
Oh, I don't know her name, but I remember that story.
Rachel Dolezal is her name. Okay. And Rachel, of course, got into hot water because, again, she was the head of the NAACP chapter in Spokane, Washington until 2015, when it was discovered that she was a white woman pretending to be black. Now, if you're wondering what she's up to, well, she just started stripping down on OnlyFans. Yes, she has an OnlyFans page, just recently launched. The subscription to that page is $9.99 a month, but you should tell her that you identify for $2 a month. Right? Yes, she still identifies as being a black woman on here as well. And honestly, yeah, some of these pictures are deceiving. And she does with the right lighting. Yeah. And images leaked onto the internet, and I'm only showing you the ones I can show you on the podcast broadcast stream without being booted. Not hot. But there are some shots where you like the woman is, I think, close to 50 or in her early 50s, holding up pretty well. She's not bad looking physically. It's just unfortunately, emotionally and mentally, she's completely effed. And it doesn't make sense.
I mean, has she faked being black so well that because black don't crack? She's looking good.
She has faked herself. I mean, she does have black children because she's been with a black man, but both of her parents, they were featured in a documentary that was on Netflix, and her son was featured on that documentary as well.
When did that come out?
That came out just a couple of years ago, and it's just like we don't get it. We don't understand.
We
she
don't
knows.
get it.
She knows she's just super Caucasian. It is what it is. It's okay to be an ally, but it's not okay to lie and say that you're something that you're not.
Right.
Especially when that led to opportunities that she took away from other black women. Being the head of the NAACP, that's the reason why people had a big problem with it. But now, if you're wondering what she's up to, well, eventually all roads lead to OnlyFans. But she is our not OnlyFans model of the week. I will show you some of the uncensored pictures later because you go out to see a couple of them. And you're like, okay, I can see that. Okay, because I mean, she works out. She's staying fit. I give her that much. Not giving her $10 a month though. I'll tell you that much more.
Oh.
All right, let's hit the reset. We'll be back with your beef tip after this. Keeping the conversation moving on youtube.com/beefvegan. Don't go away. All right. Yeah.
We talk about the name of that site, Fapolo, for a second. Fapolo.
Yeah, Fapolo. Fapolo does a lot of good leaks. It's much like the Fappening. Anything that's Fap related, it's part of the brand. And yeah, so the Fapolo.
Okay, I didn't hear about that. Is that something you're referencing that you had already talked about?
No, Fapolo is the website.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the website we were looking at. Big bug in the top left that I could not like. If it wasn't for the fact that there was a white woman very clearly trying to pretend to be a different race.
Very clearly.
Fapolo. She's like, look at me and my giant ball. I'm just working out. Don't mind me.
What is that even? That's
a medicine ball.
I understand what that was.
I never know if you've been to a gym before.
Thanks. The photo that's on an OnlyFans. That's a basic ass photo.
Yo, trust me. There's some. Oh, come here and look at this one.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We can't show them over. Like, you want them to get kicked off of YouTube, and that's how you get kicked off of YouTube.
Yeah, and that's with the medicine ball as well. You say it into the mic, nobody can hear it. Is it horrifying or? I mean, her face isn't the best here.
This area is
I know. Yeah, no, her face isn't the best there, but she got fake boobs and they look good. Yeah,
sad.
What's sad about it?
I don't know. I just think
everything.
that's sad.
Everything about that is
should it be OnlyFans or should that website be called Only Option?
I can flash this real quick. Okay. This is saucy, this is naughty, but it's not nudity. All right. So here's an image. See that?
Mm-hmm.
So, when I say she's fit and, for her age and everything else, fine.
Still sad.
It is still sad.
I think it's sad.
First off, she still lives in that area where she is notorious and famous for all the wrong reasons. So, I don't know if she has that many job opportunities. I know in the documentary that was part of her plight. She could not get work at that point. She was pretty much blacklisted for pretending to be a black person. And it affected her life. And so now at least that's some sort of income. And, globally speaking, people are going to, subscribe. She's going to make money. That's what they do. OnlyFans models make money. And we just talked about the former teacher. She got fired when outed for her OnlyFans page.
Yeah, but she was hot.
Hot-ish, but not really.
Hot-ish.
Not really. If I pulled up pictures of that woman and did a little side-by-side, you would say they're comparable. And that woman, the teacher, is, she's kind of aged, getting leathered a little bit.
That it's both sad and both women that should not be doing this. Yes, very comparable.
No, the thing about OnlyFans, I think that is appealing to the audience is that it's realistic. It's, it's more obtainable. It's not these airbrushed supermodels that you could never imagine in a million years that you're going to get with, but it's, it's actual like the lady next door type stuff. So
yes or no, there's plenty of porn with plenty of that because OnlyFans has plenty of celebrity people on there too.
That's true. That's true. I mean, Bella Thorne's still making money. Let's not forget about Bad Barbie. That's the chick, the Meet Me Outside chick.
Cash Me Outside
Cash
girl.
Me Outside, who has again made millions of dollars, and now she's turning into a philanthropist, donating tons of money to nonprofit organizations and building up like job career centers. The joke's on us.
Isn't it funny?
Yeah, the joke's on us. We're like, look at this dumb whore. And she's like, oh, yeah, I just turned my booty into a future for the children
into a
in
youth
Providence.
center.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Oh, my
it's,
bad.
It's the Cash Me Outside Youth Center.
Yes.
Look at that.
So you're telling me I could masturbate for the greater good. Thank you for being an inspiration.
It's so weird.
I know. That's the world we live in. And it doesn't seem like it's going away anytime soon. It only seems like it's just growing.
It is only growing because remember, young kids and the next generation is very normalized, and they're heroes for having OnlyFans get naked because you can't shame people.
Yeah.
So they're brave.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're so brave.
Yeah. It's kind of odd. Now, let's also not forget this, and I always bring this up with OnlyFans too. We can strip down and do things too. Like if I want to show my feet, there's a market for that.
Yes.
It does exist for guys too. Anyone can go do it.
Yeah.
This isn't exclusively to shame ladies. It's a bigger market for ladies.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. But yeah, you could, and maybe you would make some money.
It's the thing I said about remote, because I could draw, but I wouldn't draw porn because I had the option to do that. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I couldn't do it.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. We've all got our morals.
Yeah. Well, speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did you see the new Monsters on Netflix, Todd, by the way? Because I asked this question on Facebook.
Negative.
All right. So I saw it. I didn't hate it. Surprisingly, it kept as campy as it was. I was like, I kind of like it. And I did like the visuals. And I told Powers off air, it was great eye candy, not necessarily brain candy. And I'm quoting myself on that because I think it's a brilliant quote. So I asked people on Facebook what they thought about it.
Get that on your headstone. Eye candy, not brain candy.
I don't know if I'm going to have a headstone. In California, they just passed a proposition for natural decomposition, right? Yeah. So essentially, because naturally decomposing obviously takes up less energy than cremation and things. And in California, they're really pushing an initiative to have more mortuaries offer this kind of service. So what they'll do is they put you in the ground, but with some more microbes to kind of break it down a little quicker, and then you get absorbed into the earth. And honestly, I think that's the way to go, right? Kind of energy, and you're part of the earth, and you go back into the earth as opposed to being cremated and then spread into the ashes. But that's one of the initiatives that California is passing. They're doing a lot of stuff right now. Like they're not going to allow gas furnaces anymore. Coming up here in about 10, 15 years, they just passed that initiative. Of course, they want no gas vehicles in the state of California. But the problem with that is like a week after they announced this and their goal of having a gasless vehicle state in like 10 years, they had essentially like an electric shortage where people were at charging centers trying to charge their EVs for hours.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was a big clusterfuck. And it's like, look, you're telling me to get an electric vehicle, and at the same time, it's the most inconvenient part of having a vehicle is having to wait to charge it, and then they can charge it at night. And it's all this stuff. There's a lot of things that they're trying to figure out and work out, but they are pushing this green initiative and cranking it up to 110.
Yeah, well, they got to combat all of the random fires.
Yeah, right. With the electric company not upgrading their equipment at all, like good luck, buddy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the reason why I did it. I mean, I didn't say I'm against it. I mean, I'd love to see it. But obviously, it's going to be painful transition to go from something that's been cheap, affordable, and accessible to something new.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to be years before you get enough charging stations. And what's odd about it, though, is California always has like a power grid issue. Like they have so many people, but they never seem to have enough power. Now, I think that every single house in Arizona should have a solar panel on it, and we should have banked power grid. We literally would have so much power that we could sell it to California. I don't understand why that's not the case. I do know why it's not the case, and it's money. And big companies lobbying against that kind of stuff. But I think that would solve a lot of problems for California. But to say, okay, all you could do is charging station. Oh, by the way, we don't have powers. There's going to be rolling blackouts like that. I don't think they thought it out, right?
Right.
Like
that, and someone did point out, my parents pointed out, like, yeah, the whole thing with that is like, oh yeah, you're trying to take a trip to pass this much, and then you got to go charge your car, not fill it, and you keep going.
Oh.
You got to stand around for 3 hours, like, because the car charging isn't instant, like gas is instant. It's just your car goes.
I'll tell you what, though. I think there's a faster. I mean, when they do these EV charging stations, they obviously charge up faster. It's not a 3-hour thing. It's not as quick as filling up a gas tank,
right?
But yeah, it is like a kind of a supercharge or a quick charge. But it's still new technology for the most part, so it's going to take a minute to figure it all out.
Can you look up Todd? Can you look up how
I'm
long
working on it already?
An electric
I'm already
car?
there.
Just because,
yeah,
like,
what do you got?
Yeah,
Hold on. I got to
own these Teslas already. How long does that take? From
right
zero.
now, I'm trying to figure out if this is a good
zero.
site.
You're not getting to the
You're asking me too soon. I just Googled it.
Sure.
Give me a moment.
They say California is a sunshine state, but it's not. We are.
No,
And
we're,
Florida.
We're the sunshine factory.
Yeah. I mean, we should, honestly, if everybody had just one solar panel on the roof in this entire state.
Well,
and
we already
solar
do have
energy-
enough solar. Like, you
Okay.
can't sell them solar anymore because they have enough.
Yeah.
But I do get the idea, like, why aren't we charging batteries and selling them other places? Good
All right,
point.
what do you say, Go? What do you got,
So
Todd?
to charge a Telsa from 0 to full, there's 3 different levels, and if you're charging it just from like your AC, which would be charging it like your normal outlet from your wall to your car, that's 20 to 40 hours at that rate.
Okay. Right.
Level 2, which is third-party charger, the Tesla chargers in your home, things like that, that'll be 8 to 12 hours depending on your
Right.
battery.
Okay,
And then
so-
there is now the Tesla Supercharger, which will charge a battery in 15 to 25 minutes.
There you go. So there you go. So you got to go somewhere and then stand there for 25 minutes.
Right.
At
So
best,
they'll
yeah.
have, I'll be honest with you, what's going to happen is they're going to start making the roadside stops, things like that, like attractions, something to do
All
for
right.
a little bit.
Yeah, we're talking about EVs and charging stations. Welcome back on Rock 102.1 KFMA. And just looked it up because of California's issues of wanting to have a state that has no gas vehicles in there, but then also having power issues and having these charging stations have lines wrapped around the block for hours at end. Todd just looked up how long it takes to charge one of these at one of these supercharging stations, and it's still 15 and 25 minutes. And in no world, because as daily drivers, we usually are on the run when we're filling up gas anyways. Nobody plans to go to the gas station for 25 minutes. They're just like, oh, I'm getting low. I need to get gas real quick. Real quick is the key words.
Yep.
And there's nothing real quick about it. And until they figure out real quick, it's going to be really hard to convince an entire state of millions of people to say, hey, this is the way to go.
I have a solution.
Right? All right,
Yeah.
what's your
Battery
solution?
exchangeable batteries. They already tested out on a small scale right now in
yeah.
other countries with scooters and things like that. So instead of charging your battery like water containers where you drop off the water container, you get another water container. In this case, it's electricity. You pull out your battery, you plug it into a wall of batteries, and it feeds you another one. Maybe you need 8 to do your car. I don't know how it works out, but yeah.
Isn't the whole
battery
bottom
cells.
of a Tesla the battery? Like, isn't it like gigantic?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not. Never had enough money to answer that question. But I'd say this: and that would create jobs, kind of like old school gas attendants, which they have on the East Coast in like Jersey, and they have in Washington as well,
Oregon.
or in
Oregon,
Oregon.
not
Yeah,
Washington.
yeah, where it's mandatory, so you can't pump your own gas.
Right.
So you go to these stations and you have like attendants there changing out batteries. It does not seem like it would be a quick and easy thing to do, though. That seems like a Jiffy Lube type deal. JJ said it's an array of batteries. So, I mean, they would have to
it'd be
get to a
like
point.
you have like it worked the same method as like having a battery dock for your phone. Like
Right.
you're just charging out the thing that charges your battery in your car.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it yet. I mean, but
Not
you know,
yet, like-
yeah,
We got Moore's law. You know what Moore's law is, real quick?
no,
That's the thing where technology doubles and the space it takes gets cut in half every few years
Right.
mathematically. Like, terabytes now cost nothing. So that's what's going to keep happening with these batteries. They'll just keep getting smaller.
all right. Well, here's the hope, and just for the state of California,
Yeah.
here in Arizona, we're still red state, so we're going to be riding horses and burning gasoline and petroleum for years to come. Don't worry about it. We're good, Tucson. All right, we're all out of time here. We're going to wrap things up. So I'll give you a beef tip. When it comes to this kind of conversation, there is no easy answer. So it's really all about finding those economical, easy communication or rides and not communications, transportation.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going to get Powers and I matching electronic bikes. They're going to be fantastic.
Oh, I hope so.
Yes, it's going to be good. So I say my B tip to you is get one of those electronic scooters, man. Yeah, you won't get laid and people will point and laugh at you, but at least you'll get to point A to point B in your neighborhood without burning any gas. And it only takes about 15 minutes to charge, I hear.
Can we wear matching helmets?
You're going to wear a helmet? What a nerd. You hear this soft ass right here? This candy ass on an electronic bike wearing a helmet.
I wear a helmet on a regular bike.
What is the answer? Like, how do I make sure I never get laid while driving an electronic bike? And the number one answer on the board, wear a helmet. All right. Well, good luck with that.
I will.
I'll be not wearing a helmet, getting all the phone numbers.
I told you.
Robin
I wear a
Nash.
driving helmet.
All right, later, guys. Ran out of time. All right, let's see.
Robin
Yeah,
Nash
that was
exists. Goodbye.
yeah. I was gonna plug. You keep trying to go in on it, and like, no helmets. Whatever. We're just rambling, anyways. Todd, thanks for popping in, dude.
See you Sunday.
Sunday. Yes, well, I'm figuring that out, and I'll let you know, and then we'll talk about that on the stream as well, because we might need a couple people to jump in. If you guys want to play a little game with us at Tucson Games and Gadgets, be a good time.
I mean, we only need 3. It's 3 plus, so.
Yeah, no, we'll get a couple streamers in the mix. It'll be fun.
But yeah, more people. This is one of those games where if we have to do it for 2 hours, more people will make it stretch and more interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll get it for maybe an hour. I'll bring a backup game are we like contractually obligated to do 2?
No, I don't think there is a time limit. So not a minimum, anyways. So yeah, I think we're gonna be fine. And then Powers join us, but he's going to fucking Grand Canyon like a goddamn tourist. This guy lived in Arizona.
Big hole in the ground. Yep.
Yeah.
It looks so phony. Here's the fun thing. Remember, when you go to the Grand Canyon, be careful. Gotta wear a helmet. I always do.
Ah, Jesus.
Send us a picture of you on a donkey ride wearing a helmet, please.
Last time I went, I wore a tuxedo. I was the best.
How you're not a virgin is still beyond me. All right. Thank you guys for watching the stream.